If you put £1,000 into Lego 35 years ago, it could be worth £40,000 today. Lego, musical instruments, and wooden furniture are supposed to be some of the easiest items to flip, but how easy is it? The Lego company retires sets every single year, and people are willing to pay more money for something that they want where there's a limited supply. Musical instruments can be good to flip because when people don't know exactly what they have, there's money to be made. And you can make money flipping wooden furniture because when people redecorate and they want to get rid of it, a removal service costs money, but selling it for cheap means free removal for them and a good deal on wooden furniture for you. In this video, I spent over £1,000 and many months to successfully flip an electric guitar, a piece of furniture, and a retired Lego set. And now I know that if you want to get started flipping, all you need to do is start with
John, how are you? Can you hear me?
Jim. Hi, yes I can. I can't see you though. This is Jim from Wolf of Bricks. He's a bit of a Lego expert. How successful are you, in terms of metrics with Lego flipping and investing? Like what kind of numbers do you do?
So I've done over six figures for quite some time now annually. During COVID, I did 263,000, which was my best year. If you've never been in Lego, you say to yourself, wow, those numbers are fantastic, but I'm actually disappointed in those numbers. I think those numbers could have been a lot better.
One question I have is, are there any sets that you'd recommend buying / investing in within right now or within the next month or so?
You want to focus on sets that are retiring. You don't want to buy a lot of sets that have just been released because that's money on the shelf. Those aren't Lego sets on the shelf. That's money on the shelf. The Medieval Blacksmith is definitely one. I personally, that retails $170 USD. You could get it on discount here for $150. I wholeheartedly believe that's going to be a $400 set. The Lego Architecture White House, that retails for $100. If I had to guess right now, it's probably going on Amazon for $90. If I had to guess again, during Q4, it will probably go as low as $75 or $80. So I would prefer to hold sets no longer than 18 months. But the interesting thing about the White House is next November, there's a presidential election. So I would assume I would have a little bit of a higher ROI with the White House, but you don't know until it happens.
I took Jim's advice and I bought 5 sets of the Lego White House set for £71.99 each, and I also bought 5 sets of the Lego Medieval Blacksmith set for £127.99 each, so the total of all that is £999.90 for 10 Lego sets. It was 20% under the RRP, so then if we resell it for the full RRP, then it's a 25% profit. I actually love Lego, and I haven't had any to play with for 15 years since I was a kid until today. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to sell the other 4 sets for a ton of profit, hopefully, and then I could sell the 5th one for profit, and I'll just be like, no, I want to play with it. I've had it for a year and I want to play with it. I bought those Lego sets in July 2023, and the sets weren't retiring until the end of 2023, so I just had to store them for at least 6 months to maybe start seeing the prices going up. Next, I needed a piece of wooden furniture. I looked through a bunch of listings on Facebook Marketplace, messaged maybe 10 people, and I eventually arranged to collect this one, a solid oak wooden TV unit for £30. Pretty nice looking if you ask me, and based on all of the wood furniture flipping YouTube channels I've watched, I figured I'd be able to flip this for close to £100. I also wanted to buy a musical instrument, and I thought this could be a good opportunity to try out some geo arbitrage, where you benefit from the price differences between 2 countries. Prices in Japan are 36% cheaper than in the UK at the moment, so I went to this website that lets you buy stuff to flip from eBay Japan and Yahoo Japan Auctions, not sponsored. I searched for an electric guitar to buy with the hope of getting a deal. I came across this Yamaha SLG 100S, which I thought looked a bit different and pretty cool. I looked up how much they sell for on eBay over here in the UK, and it turned out to be between £200 and £300. So if I could buy that guitar for anywhere under £200, then we're on to a winner. I went to collect the wooden TV unit, and the woman said she'd had 50 messages from people who wanted to get it, and just that we were the ones who could come soonest. And when we got it back, it was just a case of fixing it up. So we picked up some wood glue. It's Gorilla wood glue to fill in this crack here, and there's also some cracks on the back. Got ratchet straps. It's gonna clamp the whole thing together, close the crack, put the glue in, and then we'll leave it to dry overnight. We also got some sanding blocks. They're 80 and 120 grit. A couple of respirator masks, because don't want to be breathing in fine bits of wood like sawdust. I got some gloves, pair for me, pair for Kendra, because we're going to be doing it together. Once we've sanded it off, we're going to put this Danish oil on it, and that's going to give it a nicer color, and it's going to, I don't know what, reinvigorate the wood. That all came to £60, 17p. We're not going to be using all of it on this unit. Like for example, this degreaser, we'll probably just use a few drops. Same with the Danish oil, same with the wood glue. But the rest of the stuff is reusable. I threw a maximum bid on that guitar auction for £200 and ended up winning it for £183.22. So that was the result. I was thinking if we could sell it for £200 to £300, then that's like a guaranteed win. I ended up having to pay for some extra special like protective packaging because I don't think the guitar would have withstood the tolls of international shipping. I had to pay £14.75 for that special packaging. And just when I thought I was in the clear, I got hit by a bill from UK Customs for £56.17. That brought the total outlay for the guitar to £254.14. And given that the upper end of what people were selling it for was £300, I'll be honest, I was getting a little bit nervous. Oh, that is nice. Ah, is it tuned? Somewhat. January 2024 rolled around, I listed the Lego sets on eBay and I wanted to list them on Amazon, but apparently you have to be approved to sell Lego on Amazon. I had a look on eBay to see what the Lego sets were selling for now that they're retired, and I was expecting to see at least the Medieval Blacksmith selling for like £300, £400, £500 and £150. They were selling for less than the RRP, and I guess maybe my expectations were too high, expecting the price to just spike instantly as soon as they retire. Maybe it's one of those things where you have to hold on to it for a while and the price will eventually go up. I don't know. So I set both the Lego sets to have a 10% profit margin after all costs, and I just waited to see what happened. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos about how to restore wooden furniture, and what they normally do is just sand the wood down to like the original wood, and you can see the original color. This is kind of a yellowy, orangey color right now, but it wouldn't have been that color to begin with because it has some finishes applied to it. But it turns out what we've actually done is just taken off the top coat, which is just like the top layer of finish, like the protective layer, and we've just applied a new top coat. The oil's dry and now it's good to list. Made the Facebook listing, that took 15 minutes, so I've ended up going with a selection of 10 different photos, just showing all the different angles, including the back, shows any imperfections. I've gone with saying it's used. We've built in enough price to be able to give a discount at £95. If it doesn't sell within maybe a week or two, we can drop the price by a little bit. I threw a guitar listing up on eBay, and because of eBay's fees, I had to sell it for at least £300 just to break even. I thought I'd try my luck saying the starting bid at £350. Many weeks passed. There were over 100 views on the Facebook Marketplace listing, but no offers. And then the eBay listing just kept renewing week after week until eventually we got a bid for £350. Months after listing the Lego sets on eBay, both the White House and the Medieval Blacksmith, the Blacksmith sold for £163. That's a 10% net profit margin after all the costs of like buying the set and the shipping fees and the eBay fees. But I'm thinking for the other 9 sets that I have, I'm just gonna hold on to them until the prices go up a lot more. I don't wanna have invested £1,000 for almost a year and only get back a 10% return. Like in stocks, that would be fine, but Lego, I've got higher expectations. We didn't get any more bids on the guitar, so it sold for £350, which means we made about a £50 profit, which is around a 17% net profit margin. But now that we have all the things sold, which one was the best? The Lego, I had to tie up money in for a long period of time, and I only made a 10% profit margin after like 9 months. So I'm gonna have to store it for a lot longer, and who knows how much it'll end up selling for. I can't really give you a conclusive answer on that at the moment, but we'll see. The wooden furniture, I feel like would have sold for a lot more if I wanted to hold on to it for longer. However, the issue with that is that wooden furniture is so big, unless you have an enormous space to store it, and you can't really scale that very much. Plus, it took a decent amount of time to fix it up. If we had a separate place to store it, maybe we would have held on to it for longer and then been able to sell it for more. We weren't, so I'm gonna say we hardly made any money on it. The guitar was probably the biggest success because we made the most profit on that with £50, and that was all done with one flip. And I didn't have to do anything to improve it to make that happen, so yeah. Musical instrument duo arbitrage. That's where it's at. I'll see you in the next one.